Question from Pennsylvania. Yes, sir, Brad. So Coast came up a little bit short of what he was hoping for. What do you think he learned out of that, Scotty?
I think he was watching, you know, what the 88 and the 59 were doing, going back and forth and back and forth. He split them up into that last corner. Maybe next time he'll try to pass them going on the back straightaway and try to, instead of trying to split them up in the middle of the corner, I think a good double draft pass would work coming to the finish line. I think they all learned a little bit of something. The smart ones went back there and rewatched what just happened and you know, talked it over with their mechanics, talked it over with their rider coaches. A lot of those riders have rider coaches. So I think Chad probably, you know, could be an opportunity to come away with a win.
We were just looking at Shayna there in her Parts Plus machine. Arguably the best ride we've seen from her all year long, and she got a top 5.
Yeah, definitely. She did ride the wheels off it. But she'll be starting the front row of this first heat race for the singles class. There she is. She's ready to go. She's got Chase Sadoff right beside her. So Kopp will be the first pick. He was our Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award winner earlier today, and that gave him $1,000, plus it gave him the pole for both Springfield Mile 1 heat races and Springfield Mile 2 heat races. So you're getting ready to fire them up. The engines come to life right now. There goes Jake Johnson, a little fist pump right there. I believe that was, no, maybe it wasn't Jake. Nope. Anyways, a little fist pump for Shayna, and they'll send them on out.
Well, as Cody rolls out here getting ready for this first heat race of round number 2 here at Springfield today, Rick just texted me. They just got great news from Indianapolis. Doug Coletta did not make it through qualifying into the big show tomorrow. So Clay Milliken is in, and they've got a brand new sponsor on that top fuel car with Arby's. So that's a big deal for them to get Clay into the big go tomorrow.
That is awesome. I think Clay, every time he was at the races earlier this season, talking about American Flat Track, he had the biggest smile on his face.
He was loving it. Yeah, he's a huge fan. He was at Sturgis for the TT and taking it all in.
Saw him earlier the year in a couple rounds as well.
Yep. He was at Daytona.
All right, let's do it again. What'd you say? Play 2?
Play 2, Ernie Banks.
All right.
Googling.
That was back when you were a tot?
Oh, yeah. No, that's a little bit further back for me.
All right.
Appreciate the thought.
We'll line them on up. Parts Limited AFT Singles Heat Race number 3, if you want to keep track of it that way. Cody Kopp's on the pole on the 1. 59, Tom Drain. 52, Shayna Texter Bauman. The 88, Chase Sadoff. That is your front row. Hunter Bauer back there, row 2 with Ian Wolf. Tyler Raggio, Michael Enderbitz in 154. If he's back from his crash, I don't see him out there.
I don't see him out there, Scotty, and I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Row 3 also supposed to be out there is the 26 of Roos Evans. He's not making out there to the 270. Jess Reynolds is out there with the 121 of Jacob Cassio. And at the back of the pack, Jacob Vandekoy. Here we go. Here's Ralph Shaheen with the call. Heat race number 3 of the day for the singles.
All right, here we go. Starting all over again. A complete, clean slate of racing. All the points on the line, all the glory ready to be had here. Another full round of competition. Parts Limited AFT Singles, presented by Kicker, begins right now with the first heat race of this late afternoon session here. Watching the lights. Here we go. Top trying to get a great start. Drain has been relentless on the lights here today, and he's back out front once again. Kopp drifts all the way back to 4th behind his teammate, Shayna Texter Bauman, who finds herself in 3rd right behind Chase Sadoff, who sees the view that he saw a lot of during the main event just, less than an hour ago.
Here he comes up the inside. Sadoff uses the draft pass, goes to the lead. That's what he was doing in the main event. Looked like Drain maybe slipped a little bit wide and lost a little bit of traction right there.
Oh, and Shayna gets a little wide in 3 and 4, and 2 guys get past, including Cody Kopp.
This time, Drain wasn't close enough to make the draft pass at the line, so maybe Chase has figured something out.
Well, now, Scotty, if he learned something from, let's say he went back and watched the tape of the last main event, if he did learn something, would you show it here in the heat, or would you just save it for the main?
Well, I want to see it work at least one time, and then I put it in my back pocket. You know, don't show all your cards. You've got to save something for the main, or even save something for the challenge race if you want to win $5,000.
Yeah.
Chase gets back in line behind Drain down the front straightaway. Try to swing up and make the pass. Pretty
Top
close.
trying to get around Raggio here on the 55. That's for third. He's passed.
Drain leads him to the line by 0.017 over Sadoff. So Drain just seems like he's faster through 3 and 4 to the finish line, maybe with the draft. So maybe Chase needs to try something different. Set it up right now. Maybe don't pass him right now. Maybe follow Drain into the corner, and he does. So we'll see now if Sadoff can get the drive and get the draft to pass the 59 by the finish line. He's already trying to come up the inside a little too quick.
Yeah, he came up fast, didn't he? He's bringing Cop right with him. Here he comes. See if it works. Can't do it.
Yeah. So you have to try something different.
Scotty, how much of that is just the size advantage that Tom Drain has coming down that front
I think it's a huge advantage. He doesn't punch as big of a hole in the air as the 88 does, and it's harder for the 88 to get the power to go around.
Here's Raggio looking inside.
Impressive run by Tyler Raggio, the 55 bike.
Yeah, this is not what Cody needs, right? Cody wants to know that he can get up there and run with those top two, because that could win him the championship later today.
And you know, Cody maybe doesn't want to be in the challenge race. Maybe wants to just save it for the main event. I doubt that, though.
I doubt it too. $2,500, right?
Exactly. But don't do anything stupid. You still want to win the championship, you know, so don't force the issue if it's not there. Drain looks so impressive today. 3.7.385 last time by for Drain.
Kristen, what can you tell us about Chase Sadoff?
Yeah, earlier in the day during the first Springfield mile race, Chase Sadoff was on that 2025 Honda CRF 450R. However, he has switched bikes. He's back on the 2024, not because he didn't love the 2025 and how it was handling, but rather it started leaking fluid. They didn't want to take any chances. They could have easily repaired the bike. That was a non-issue, but they said, you know what? Just because that little sign, they're going to go ahead and move back to the bike that they are most comfortable with, that 2024 bike.
Wow, that's a lucky catch by them.
That's very lucky that they caught it and it wasn't on the racetrack. Good stuff, Kristen. Thank you. Talking about the 88 of Chase Sadoff, and you know, they've got a few other motorcycles back there, a couple of spares, and we'll see if this little bit older bike is as good as the brand new bike, and it looks like he's playing pretty strong. Now it looks like he tucks in line. Now he's going to try to use the draft pass. You can see Chase let off over there in turn number 4. He just didn't have the drive that Drain does off of turn number 4 just yet.
I don't think there's any way Chase is going to get off of 4 and beat Drain to the line. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Tom just punches such a smaller hole through the air up that front straightaway that Chase is going to have a hard time holding him off. I think somehow Chase is going to run just a bit of a better line through 3 and 4 and open up just enough of a gap that even though Tom's going to be coming after you at the line, he's going to end up just 100th or 1,000th short.
Well, they've kind of discarded the 55. Now it's down to 3 bikes for the top spot here. 2 going on to the challenge race. All of them trying to go straight to the main event. No
now
last
maybe
chance
Cody
qualifier.
pushing him could help.
It could. He could get up there and mix it up.
Cody decides to go with him, he might go the opposite direction and try to win it on his own.
I do want to point out that Sadoff is not having an issue in turn 3 and 4 like he was in main event number 1. He's got that figured out now.
Or the track change.
Correct. Ooh, Sadoff might have the gap you were just talking about, Ralph. Here they come.
There you go. This is the final lap. Coming to the checker flag up the front straightaway to end heat number 1. Sadoff, it's going to make the difference. He's going to get it at the line. Chase is going to take the win. Drain will hold on for a second. They'll both go to the challenge race and battle it out for $2,500. Cody Kopp sees himself finish in 3rd. Shana with another top 5.
Top 9 going to the main event. Jess Reynolds makes her first main event on her own. She's used a provisional before, but she makes her first main event.
Now, Scotty, if that main event coming up in a little while finishes like this, Sadoff, Drain, and Kopp will not clinch here today, and that title fight will go to our last round coming up in Lake of the Ozarks in, what, 2 weeks?
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to see good stuff, but it would be interesting if it went all the way down to the wire. So
sure.
Sadoff taking the win by 1.7 seconds. He did what you suggested, Ralph. You know, get a gap going into 3 and 4 and lead them off of that turn number 4 all the way to the finish line.
I don't know if it was because of what he did or a mistake by Drain in there, but either way, it worked to his advantage.
Definitely
right?
did. was third. Raggio, Shane Texter Bauman fifth. Hunter Bauer, Jess Reynolds, Ian Wolf, Jacob Vandekoy are your transfers.
Well, Kristen, that 24 bike looks just as good as the 25.
Absolutely, Chase. You got him at the line. How good does it feel to now know what you've got heading into this final session of the day?
Feels pretty good. I just got to get it perfect and hit my marks, and that's all I got to say.
Where's your energy level at?
I couldn't hear you.
Where is your energy level at right now?
I don't even know. I'm kind of over it today. The first race upset me a little bit, but I'm pretty stoked for the next one. I don't even know what to say. I just need to hit my marks and just do what I know how to do. Yeah, it's been a long day.
Chase, well done. I feel like we're all that way, right? We're working into overtime right now, guys.
Well, some of us, Kristen, not mentioning any names, but some of us are probably feeling a little full from corn dog number 19.
Hey, some of us gotta eat. I don't get to sit in an air-conditioned truck on the outside of the track. Some of us are getting our steps in. I could use another hot dog, to be honest.
I'm sure you
Me
could.
too. Me too. Heat race number 2, or heat race number 4, however you want to look at it, for the Parts Unlimited AFT singles pulling up to the line. Chad Coase will be the pole setter. He can either go outside or inside on the 49. First impressions, Husqvarna. 265, the rookie Evan Renshaw. 75, Terrence Santero. In the 48, Trent Lowe. Row 2, 106, Reese Pottorff. 23, Aiden Brown. 82, Travis Pettin. I don't see him out there. He's right that crashed on the back straightaway earlier. 63, Jared Lowe. Row 3, 131, Evan Kelleher. 90, Brandon Newman. 66, Logan Eisnard. And 56, Jordan Jean. We have 12 bikes scheduled to start. Only 9 will go straight to the main event. We made that mistake earlier today. It's 9 out of the 2 heat races. 18 riders will make the mains, and possibly 1 provisional in each class.
Well, it wasn't really a mistake. They just hadn't told us yet.
That too.
Well, don't beat yourself up over it. I mean,
all right.
If you don't know, they haven't told you. What are you going to do? All right, 10-second board is up. That we know. And away she goes, and Chad Coase is trying to deliver a pretty healthy resume by the end of this year to set himself up for 25. Could be looking at another heat race win and another shot at that $2,500. Here we go. Got Renshaw with a great start. Yeah, and Santero. And Coase gets stuck back here with Brown. Brown's on the outside of him.
Aiden Brown's been getting good starts all day long on that 23 bike.
He has. And Chad's starts improved as the day went on, but now he seems to have taken a step back with this one.
It's all right.
Yeah, he's fighting back at it. Here comes Lowe on the outside.
Trying to get the Berg boys up front, the 23 and the 48. They race up at Lawrenceburg, Indiana on a weekly basis. Now they're first and third. Really slides it off into turn number 3 or turn number 1 pretty hard right there in that third spot. Take a look over his shoulder. Is that Trent or is that Renshaw? It is Trent. Take a look over his shoulder. I don't know what he's worried about behind him. Santero is right there.
A lot of red back there.
He's trying to signal somebody. They might have had a plan maybe to work with his teammate. Maybe he thinks Renshaw's right behind him, but it's actually Terrence Santero on the 75 bike sitting back there in fourth. Look at that move right in the middle of the corner. The 48 goes by the 23.
That was a solid move, and he's trying to get him to line up with him.
Yep, and these two guys are good friends. They race each other a lot. They're trying to get them all sorted out, get organized.
Santero's trying to get up there now. He's looking at the outside of Brown.
Yeah, he's trying to mix it all up.
And Jean and Pottorff and Lowe back there all fighting over 6, 7, and 8.
Both of the Lows are out there. Trent's up there second. Jared's up there around 5th or 6th. Here they come down the back straightaway. Chad Coase has company. The 49, the 48.
And don't forget, Jared Lowe had that low side during his heat race, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just got in there a little bit too hot. We're thinking maybe when he tried downshift and missed, got into maybe a false neutral and went down in turn number 3. Looks like he's okay, no problem.
Battle for the lead.
Pottorff marching his way towards the front on the number 106. He's up to 7th.
5 to go.
So there's 10 bikes out there. 9 are going to the main.
Oh.
I don't want to be that last bike.
No, that's tough. That's Eisenhard right now, Logan. Or Kelleher.
Yeah, Kelleher, who finished 5th at DuQuoin was running good earlier today, but he's struggling in this heat race for some reason, the 131.
Yeah, I didn't make the call. Here comes Lowe. Coast is doing a good job of going just a little bit deeper into the corner, Scotty, and he's able to defend the position each time.
I think that's experience, and of course he keeps it really low on the straightaways too, trying to make the riders have to go around him, and it's hard to draft around the outside and then come back down in front of somebody. It's easier to draft from the outside, tuck up the inside. That's what everybody's used to. Chad's trying to change that up, and he rode for this team for a while. Maybe he's auditioning. Maybe he wants this ride back for next year. I know that's James Ott's ride, but maybe they'll have 2 bikes next year.
We hope James is getting better. He was doing a great job this year.
I have heard rumblings that First Impressions might actually have a twin next year as well.
Oh,
so
boy.
They kind of teased that on social media about a month ago, so we'll see.
That'd be great.
Chad's still a very good rider.
Oh, yeah, he's proven that all day today.
I'll be curious to see if he switches and comes out on his Indian here in just a moment. He told Kristen earlier that he's going to try to focus just on the single.
Yeah. Shadows all the way through the main section of the front straightaway.
The sun is back out in full force, so the track's slowing down just a little bit. 37.437, fastest lap in this one so far. Fastest lap in practice was a 37.2. Fastest lap in the first heat race was a 37.1. So it's going back and forth. Look at this big gaggle of riders.
Taryn Santero, sitting in third, has a bunch of team or family or both just to the inside of turn 4 there, cheering him on. White flag is out with Big P, 1 to go.
Santero coming off his first career podium at the last round at the Sturgis TT.
Boy, for Coast, this has gone perfectly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
He's been able to avoid the top 3 points guys in his heat race, take a win twice now in his heat, sets himself up again for the challenge race, and puts him in a good spot for the main.
Exactly. Here he comes.
Checkered flag, Chad Coast at the line, just taking the win over Lowe by 0.04 of a second.
Good run from Chad Coase. Another good run from Santero, also third. Renshaw in his rookie season is 4th. Top 9 moving on.
Would you say Renshaw has done exactly what you thought he would do as a rookie, or has he overperformed or underperformed?
You know, I think there was a lot of expectations from him. I think, you know, people really assumed that he was going to come out here and win. He won the Nikki Hayden Horizon Award last year.
That's a heavy weight to bury.
I think he's doing great. I think he's doing a great job. I think if he would pull off a win, I think it'd be just icing on the cake.
Yeah, he's been close.
Chad Coase, your winner by 0.046 seconds. Trent Lowe is 2nd. Santero is 3rd. Renshaw 4th. Jared Lowe is 5th. 6th is Aiden Brown. 7th is Reese Podorf. 8th is Jordan Jean. And 9th, the final transfer, is Brandon Newman and Evan Kelleher. My dad's always said chicken one day, feathers the next. He did good at DeCoin, missing the main event right here in 10th place finish in this heat race.
Chicken one day, feathers the next.
Yeah.
Oh, Fast Eddie.
Oh, Fast Eddie.
Is he dried out from how soggy he was after Friday night?
I don't even know.
All right, Kristen.
Chad, he's got to go right now and get back on this bike, but I'm going to walk with him as he gets ready to mount this bike. Guys, actually, Chad, go ahead and get on there. How do you feel?
I feel good. It's a lot of riding. Bike's different, but I'm having a lot of fun, so it's cool.
Guys, it's always good. Chad has told me in the past he races better when he's having fun, so let's get him out there.
You know, Kristen, I think that's for everybody in any position where you have to perform. You know, it's finding that flow, as they say, right? Getting in the vibe of it.
There you go.
And when you're in that zone like that, you know, it's no different than a basketball player, right? You think about a Steph Curry, for example. There's nights when that basket looks gigantic and it's like you're just shooting into the ocean, right? And you can't miss at all. And then there's other nights where it looks like it's no wider than the top of a pin and you can't hit nothing.
I wonder what changed. Why did he make the decision to go ahead and ride the twin? Maybe because he's having such a good day.
Yeah, you know.
Why not?
Why not?
On the pole, heat race number 1, Mission Super Twins, the 44, Brandon Robinson.
I'll tell you something else.
Yep.
He also saw Dallas didn't ride as great as he could have. Robinson wasn't as strong as he could have, nor was Briar Bauman.
Yeah.
So maybe Chad is thinking, there's some money sitting on the table there I can go get.
There you go. Meese will start second on the 1. Davis Fisher, who got second in main event number 1, he'll start second. Briar Bauman on the outside of the front row. Row 2, 21, Trevor Bruner. 49, Chad Coast. 37, Bronson Bauman. 18, Max Whale. Row 3, the 61, Casey Cisco. The 96, Cody Johncox. The 99, Kevin Stallings. And the 166, Logan McGrain. And I want to give a tip of the cap to the 18 bike. Maxwell had an excellent main event number 1 on that Harley Davidson.
Yeah, he did. That's the XG.
Correct. Just like the last one, the top 9 going straight to the main event.
All right, we get 2 looks at heat races now for our Mission Super Twins. Big P telling everybody, you got 8 laps here, fellas. 10-second board is up. You can see the riders clicking into gear. Some of them are going to scoot up a hair. Try to get as much of an advantage as they can off that start. Keep an eye on Fisher on that 67. Super great in his main event run. Got himself up on the podium here. Might be able to win this heat race. Bauman comes fighting back. We need to find out if Briar is running on that same bike that had a problem in the last main, or if they've gone to the backup bike, because it's flying once again.
Yeah, he got a good start too. Davis Fisher got a little bit better, but Briar's there. Now they're going to try to go 5 wide into 3.
Oh, Jared, what a strong move.
Power move right there by Meese to the point. Briar goes back to second. Robinson, Bronson, Bauman, and Davis Fisher goes from second to 5th.
He is not done flexing, is he?
No, he's not.
I got another one for you here. Watch this.
Fisher slipping off the groove in turn number 1, but Whale goes right up there with him, but they stay in the same position. Briar sneaking a peek, thought about going up the inside. Robinson says, hey, if you're going to let it off a little bit early, I'm going to try the outside. Now he gets back in line.
Kristen, what do you know about Briar?
Yeah, so he is on the same bike. What happened previously, he fried the clutch. There's a lot of racing going on out here, and managing that clutch is going to be so important for these riders. I asked Briar how he's feeling about the day. He told me, you know, it's been a hard day. It's been a long day. We're still figuring things out. We're getting this bike set up. Because remember, this may be his 2nd year on the KTM, but it's his 1st year on this very, very different chassis built for him. So guys, when you think, okay, well, he's in year 2 on this bike, where are the results? This is technically still a brand new bike for him. Their first time at the Springfield Mile. They're just trying to collect as much data and make as many adjustments as they possibly can.
Yeah, that Howerton chassis that he's riding on here today with the KTM power plant, nothing, Scotty, like what he was on last year.
Exactly. And it's not only just the frame, but it's also the electronics. It's how you set up the motorcycle. It could be completely different suspension. It's just like starting over from scratch.
Yeah, and we're being told that Chad Coast is off the course. He is pulled out of this one. Not sure if it was mechanical, if he got tired, if he just lost the draft, what it was, but he is pulled out of this heat. And since there's no last chance qualifier, Scotty, he's done for his effort on the twin.
Unless he has a provisional, but I don't know. Maybe he just decided that he's done for the day in the twins class.
Maybe he wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, bad start, says, okay, I'll just pull it up and focus on that single. He'll try to win that singles main instead.
Robinson came up in the last lap or so and stuck the wheel up around Briar, and I thought Brandon was going to show something to Briar, but Briar was able to fend him off. So once they got this clutch issue figured out on this 3 bike, that KTM seems to have some power to it, and Jared is not, he's in front and by a couple of bike lengths, but he's not driving away from him. In fact, he's only 0.2 of a second in front of Briar. Let's see if that grew by a 10th. That's not a lot.
And part of the reason the clutch issues, like Kristen just brought up, is when you take off on the starting line, you really have to just slip that clutch and slip the clutch to get going, because you're geared to go so fast on the straightaways and on this particular racetrack. So this track is notorious for being hard on clutches.
I wonder how many guys regular maintenance in between the two was to change clutch.
I think maybe between Springfield Mile 1 and Springfield Mile 2, you might change one out if you have time, or even hop onto a different motorcycle if you don't have time to switch out that clutch. That's how important it is.
Yeah.
Robinson looking at a little bit higher line going into one, closing up on Breyer for second place. Fisher's lost touch.
Somebody like Kenny Tolbert might have wanted to do that to that one bike for Mies, because every point is so important here today.
Mies just trying to come out of here with 2 wins. He's done it before in the fall. Only a few riders have doubled up in the fall. Mies did it in 21. He did it in 19. Chris Carr did it in 2001. And Davey Camlin won here back in the fall in 1996.
White flag is out.
Mies hasn't pulled away from anybody in this one. Not as far as he did earlier today.
No, he got up to 0.4 of a second over Breyer, and it's held there. But he's definitely in control, isn't he?
Definitely, yeah. He doesn't feel any pressure, so he's just not forcing the issue.
No, which leaves us both to believe, I'm guessing, that he's got more in the tank if he needed it.
If he needs to grab a little bit more handful or whatever, but he's looking pretty strong today.
Checkered flag awaits, and there it is. Jared keeps racking up those checkers all day today. He beats Bauman to the line. He finishes second, 0.4 of a second off the pace. And then Brandon Robinson just, what, 0.06 of a second behind Bauman. So I think Brandon came in here really hoping they had something that just hasn't come to fruition for them.
Not yet. Jared Mies taking the win by 0.474 seconds. Briar Bauman second. Brandon Robinson third. Davis Fisher is fourth. Bronson Bauman, the younger brother, back there fifth. Trevor Bruner, Blackjack, trying to lock up the Rookie of the Year, back there sixth. Maxwell seventh. Casey Cisco on the Jeffrey Carver motorcycle in eighth. Cody Johncox gets the final transfer spot. Kevin Stallings is credited with 10th. Logan McGrain 11th, and Chad Coase pulled off. He is credited with 12th place. So the top 9 moving straight to the main event. The rest might be done for the afternoon unless they have a provisional left in their back pocket. One more qualifying heat race today.
Kristen, I would be curious to know if Jared changed his clutch.
Jared, first question from Ralph in the booth. Did you have to change your clutch at all today? I'm anticipating you might have, just out of precaution.
I'm looking forward to the main event. I feel really good. Yeah, just trying to get it done.
No secrets relayed here. Jared trying to get back to his pit. One more question, if you don't mind, Jared, as you're getting ready to go. These wins are, he can't hear us down here, guys.
You know what, Kristen?
He may be choosing not to hear us, too.
Well, I think he's super focused, right? You know that as well as I do, and Scotty does. He's in a laser focus right now, Scotty. It's not that he wouldn't tell us if he changed his clutch. That's not a speed secret,
right,
that he would not want to share to his rivals, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Dallas just about came off the bike right between 3 and 4 right there.
But I think Jared is at that point where that 10th title is so close. And if this afternoon goes the way he hopes it does, it's going to take a lot of pressure off when he gets to Lake of the Ozarks.
Definitely. 92, Brandon Price will be on the pole of heat race number 2 or heat race number 4 if you're looking at the whole day picture. 32, Dallas Daniels will start second. The rookie Declan Bender will start third on the 70 bike. 20 bike, Jared Vandekoy. 34, Cameron Smith. 79, Dalton Gauthier. 25, Ben Lau. The 33, Jesse Janish. Row 3, 13, Morgan Mishler. 62, Dan Bromley. And the missile, Michael Hills on the 47, Speedway, Indiana, Harley Davidson. Getting them all lined up and ready to go. The missile's going to scoot on over. Looks like we have 10 bikes going to make the start. One of them's missing. It looks like possibly the 13 of Morgan Mitchell. Oh, there he is, just getting out there at the last second. He's supposed to be on the outside, I think.
They've been working a lot on that Honda. I flew over here. Steve Watt was sitting next to me, well, just in front of me, actually. We were chatting quite a bit about that bike. They continue feverishly to work on the development of that Honda, and they're not stopping anytime soon.
And they only have one rider now. That's the 13 of Mishler, because Bromley has elected to go a different way, and they're actually starting beside each other, the 13 and 62.
Yeah. Dan now on a Yamaha.
Here we go.
That's a pretty smart bunch working on that Honda. They'll get it all figured out between Al Lamb and his resources and Steve Watt and the Speed Demon gang and what they've got over there. Looking forward to watching what they can do with it. All right, let's see what Dallas has here now, Scotty. He gets a pretty decent jump, but a great start by Van der Kooi and an even better start by Price, who is one of those guys who has been spot on in his starts all day long.
And when you're spot on your starts, Ralph, you're up front and in the thick of things all day. That 92, the little team that could.
It makes the whole day so much easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. Memphis Shades, Michael Sponseller, Roush Fuels on the sponsor list for that 92 Yamaha.
Speaking of great starts, how about Cam Smith on the 34, right there into 4th, right behind Van der Kooi.
That's a great run and a great start for Cameron Smith on the Ryan Barnes Racing Schaefer's Motorsports KTM. And he used the provisional to start the last race, and looks like they may have found some things as he's up there to 4th right now in this one so far. Gautier right behind him on the 79 Royal Enfield.
Looks like he's feeling pretty racy right now. Gautier right there.
Johnny Lewis had to fly back to Florida, so he is here without his rider coach, his mentor. Price, it's a little bit of a bump going into 3. Did you see that? Kind of lifted him up a little bit.
I hear Kristen has something for us. Go ahead, KB.
Yeah, Ralph, you had mentioned about the clutches, and I went ahead and followed up for you. So most of the teams do change the clutches after every heat, after every main event. That's like housekeeping for them. So that is a very standard thing that they do. Most of all the riders, including even Trevor Bruner down here, even after that one heat, they'll change out the clutch, get a fresh one in. The reason why other riders may have been burning up their clutch throughout the day is because they're focusing so much on the start, they're dumping the clutch, and it will burn out faster that way. There are certain supercross and motocross riders that ride the bike so aggressively they have to sometimes change the clutch in between every practice session. But again, for the heats and especially the main events, that is something that they standard do. It's like housekeeping.
Appreciate that, Chris, and thanks for the great reporting on that.
And Price had a little scary moment over there in turn 3 and 4, the 92 bike chasing. There he goes wide. Something's amiss right now with the 92. It could be just what's between his 2 ears right now. He just needs to focus back in and get it sorted out.
Yeah.
I think maybe trying a little bit too hard.
Tell you who else has been riding really hard here today with a no-quit attitude is Declan Bender on that 70. We've seen him more than once here today where that bike has not been responding well to any of the inputs he's been putting into it, but he has fought through all those challenges, and here he is sitting in, what, 5th?
Yeah, 5th right now, and he's in his rookie season, first time on the Springfield Mile on a twin. He's doing excellent. He's out there. He's got his hands full, and he's had a lot of times we see him, he's got so much head shake. It's just so hard to leave that throttle on and ride through it, but that's what you have to do.
His learning curve has been very steep here today, but he's done a great job.
Dallas Daniels pulling away. Now Cameron Smith gets by Brandon Price, so Smith going forward, Price going backwards. Cameron's had a great season so far on that Ryan Barnes Racing KTM. He's currently 12th place in the point standings. He's made every single main event.
It's great.
That's awesome. Got a 3-way battle back here. Cam Smith, Brandon Price, Declan Bender. That's 3rd through 5th.
And you know, to a lot of the folks sitting at home, you might be like, well, he should make every event. Well, listen, it's really tough out here to make a main event, let alone all the main events. I mean, granted, sure, guys like Dallas and Breyer and Jared and all them should and do make every main event usually. But as you get deeper down into that privateer category, it gets tougher and tougher to do that week in and week out. Well, just due to resources, if nothing else.
5 guys have got points in every main event. 6 have made every main event, with Meese making a main but didn't get any points. So it sounds easy. We've had 35 riders gain points this year, so to make every main event, my hat's off to the Cameron Smith gang.
Without a doubt.
Daniels out front by 1.2 seconds over Van der Kooi, quietly having a 2nd place run in this heat race.
Yeah, he got a really good start. White flag is out.
32's got the fastest lap of the race at 3:06.246. Misa's fastest lap in heat race number 1 is a 3:06.054.
Scotty, Dallas seems to sit up differently than Jared as he goes through the corners.
And it's just a different style. I think Dallas is the older school. You learn to ride a little bit differently when you start on 450s.
And here he comes off of 4, headed to the checkers. Well, this one went the way he had hoped. Got out front, dominated this one. Dallas Daniels wins it over Vanderkoy at the line. It's 1.6 seconds. Price is through as well as the rest of the field comes across the line. And it looks like Jesse Janisch will get the final transfer out of this heat.
He made both main events today on that Kawasaki. It's a Racing Unlimited Kawasaki. It's good to see JJ33 back at the track. He's been running a lot of the King of the Baggers stuff this season. Loves riding those big bikes. Had a wild get-off last year, did Jesse Janisch at the King of the Baggers. Here's a look at the results. Heat race number 4, if you're looking at the whole day picture. Otherwise, it's heat race number 2. Dallas Daniels, your winner by 1.6 seconds. Brandon Price recovered, got back to 5th for a minute. Gets all the way back up to 3rd with a 1.912 seconds. 4th is Declan Bender. 5th is Cameron Smith. 6th is Dalton Gauthier. Ben Lau, 7th. Dan Brumley on his Yamaha is 8th, and Jesse Janisch on that Kawasaki is 9th. Michael Hill is credited with 10th, and Morgan Mishler with the 11th place finish in this one. So that's our final heat race of the afternoon, of the entire day, actually, here at the legendary Springfield Mile. Springfield Mile presented by Drag Specialties. Looks like the winner may or may not have stopped at Kristen Beat, so we'll see. We have 2 challenge races coming up next. Singles will be first in our Mission Super Twins, and then our 2 main events of the evening. And now it does look like there's our winners down there. Kristen Beat, take it away.
Dallas, to take this heat win, it's been such a long road getting back here. So much work, blood, sweat, and tears along the way. Did you ever think 3 weeks ago you would be at this point? Was this your expectation to come back and be in winning form again?
Maybe within myself a little bit, but when I asked the people who are way smarter than me, they kind of said, yeah, I don't know, I don't think so. But, it's kind of one of those things where I just put that out of my mind and just focused on trying to get better. Like we talked yesterday, it was a little more important there at the beginning to just try to get back to normal. And, but, regardless, I wanted to come back because I felt like I had some unfinished business here. Last year was really a struggle, and I feel like it was a big combination of things. And I wanted to see if the hard work we had put in through the year and the teams put in, that if we gotten any better, and I think we've proved that so far. And, you got to think if I was 100%, then it would probably be even better than it's going, which it's going really good right now. But, yeah, I made a couple changes for that heat race, and they were better. The track's just like, it seems like it's like typical Springfield, like back in the 90s, right around the guardrail, which is cool. It's been a different Springfield for me every year, so just trying to dial that in, and it's been a fun day so far.
And mind you guys, when he references the 90s, he's referencing the videos he watches because he was just a toddler back in the 90s.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Just a baby.
Yeah, just a baby. Look, he's still using the cane. He's still limping around a little bit, but doesn't seem to be slowing him down out there on the racetrack. Dallas Daniels is trying to win the Springfield Mile for the first time in the Premier class. He's got a good shot at it. Let's check in again one more time with Kristen Beat.
Yeah, as Dallas was driving away, one of my favorite interviews in the paddock, by the way, I kind of laughed and I asked him, what are you going to do with the cane when this is all over? And he said, I'm going to put it in the closet and hopefully I never need it again, but keep it just in case. These guys know what they're getting into.
Oh, I thought he was going to give it to Mies. If Mies retires, I thought that'd be a nice little present for him.
Oh, you should tell him that. What a great present. He could auto